Señor.
Amigo. Renko.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
Very good. Pablo,
You?
it's a pleasure to have you here again, to talk to you again.
I'm, very happy. Look at me, almost crying still. Every time I talk about these things, I get emotional.
A lot has happened, right? Since the last time we talked at Space Tech Expo, a lot has happened.
What happened? It was so fast. I think we made a few tries to launch Mira 1, and we learned a lot. And we finally launched that 3 weeks ago.
7th of October 2023 is now a date that goes into history where PLD Space became the first European private company to launch a rocket from European soil.
Very proud. Very proud to being there physically, very proud to represent the team of, we are now 150 persons with this dream that now is reality, pushing, and making, I think, giving jobs. That's something I love and we love in the company. And with a new challenge, even more difficult, but with very good, what we call now reliability. Now we can tell that we have something.
You have shown that you can do this. Now Mira 1 was a lot of firsts. I just mentioned a few, but what were the firsts with Mira 1?
For Europe was the first private company doing something like that, to make something in the continental Europe, first launch happening. What else? I forgot, to be honest. So many things in my first time. I was so happy to launch in Europe, in my country. So happy because we have low expectation, to be honest. We were ready to have almost a party if the rocket was, I think Raul mentioned last time, 10 meters away.
Yes.
But when we saw that going up, I remember being in the countdown. I was kind of following the payloads. There were a few payloads outside or inside, but we were monitoring everything together, and we saw this. Raul Verdu start running. I was with my phone because I wanted to record, and you see the video.
You made a beautiful video where all the emotion, it's all about human emotion.
No, we have a team that really are artists. I think it's maybe the Spanish appeal.
Well, I think so. It was a very Spanish, European way of launching and celebrating.
Yeah, we say Spanish, but we are 12 nationalities. We happen that we are in Spain. It happened that it was inside Spain, even the launch, but we feel very European.
How relevant is it that PLD Space is a Spanish company within the context of European space?
I think it's a good example of it's possible. I've been working in projects that they told me was not possible, like even SpaceX, even Vegan in a given moment, even other projects like Deimos, and it's possible. It's a question of time, perseverance. You have to be, very tough sometimes in moments where you feel like this is not gonna work. This is happening, and I think nothing can stop if you have the right team.
Well, and that's the whole idea, because this is not the end, this is merely the beginning. So what's next? Mira 1, we don't have Mira 2, we go straight to Mira 5.
Yeah.
What's the story of Mira 5?
Yeah, Mira 1 is because we have only one engine in the first stage, and we go to Mira 5 engines in the first stage with almost the same technology than Mira 1. Mira 1, it helped a lot to demonstrate. We say 80% of the technologies are going to be flying also in Mira 5. So it's a big step, to be honest.
So for the viewers, Mira 1 was a suborbital rocket, single stage, with a pressurized engine. The biggest, that's what I remember, it was the biggest rocket ever launched with a pressurized fuel injection system. Now Mira 5 is going to be different, but Mira 5 is an orbital rocket. And by the way things go, it might be the first European private orbital rocket, but not to launch from European soil. It's going to be launched from French Guiana.
Yeah, that's something that we have to do. At this moment, we choose French Guiana. To be honest, it's the only operational launch base, and it's there. Eh? We have other options. We need other spaceports, especially for the ramp up. We plan to launch almost 32 launches per year or more. So there is a limitation in all the spaceports, not only in the number, also in the kind of orbit you want to launch.
Do you have specific spaceports in mind in Europe? Because there's many popping up.
Yeah, you name. I think we cannot talk in detail on that, but we can name it. Andoya, Esrange. In UK we have. What's the name? It doesn't come to me.
We have Saxaford.
Saxaford, excuse me.
Shetland.
Yeah, and to be honest, we are trying to visit all of them to get in contact. International, we talk, and it's open, I think, with what is private, and Australia, Japan, Brazil.
Well, this is new space, new spaceports, new small launches. What's the time frame from Mira 5?
Mira 5 time, if I go to the end, we plan to launch in 25. That's a solid statement. When we have actually, we hope to get a grant that make us push for that date. It's called PERTE. But anyway, we have a plan, and we are doing things on that way. So next year we will be testing most of the propulsion. This year is happening already. We have already some engines that are not in the final configuration, but in a testing configuration. So rocket will be in Kourou in 25 for sure. And
commercially?
Will be a qualification flight first. We plan to have 2 flights we call demo flight, like we did with Mira 1. We have customers even asking for this one. There is a lot of demand. So
that was going to be my next question, of course.
Sorry again.
32 launches per year.
Yeah.
Do you have customers to fill, what is it, 500 kilos to some synchronous orbit, or even more perhaps?
Yeah. As you say, 550 kilos in SSO from Kourou, and we can go to 1 ton for equatorial, also from Kourou. And we have customers already. We say we have like 350 million already in, I will not say solid, because we don't want to make solid till we are sure we can commit in dates. But next year we are going to make officials most of them.
Excellent.
And all kind of customers, and especially we have a good agreement now even with Arianespace for commercialization. We have some anchor customers like Ispasat and others that we don't provide the names.
So one of the things that you mentioned in your presentation is there's a gap in European launch capacity at the moment. Basically, there is no European launch capacity, with Vega not launching until several years from now. Ariane 5 stopped, Ariane 6, well, nobody knows at the moment. Are you going to be the first European launcher to fill that gap, or?
We are going to be our plan is maybe not to be the first one, but to be the one that last. So
this is a little bit the space shuttle situation. At the end of the space shuttle era, the United States was without human launch capability for quite a number of years. So we see a similar situation in Europe now. So we need companies like PLD, I suppose, for the private sector.
I think there is a market, and we saw today for more than one, and that's clear. And we have to try at least to do things in other way. I mean, with the way we are trying to do is very vertical, very cost effective, and especially with a lot of reliability. So we may not be the first one, as you say, even to reach orbit, but we are going to be the first one with reliability. For us, is the one that will have sustainability, that will survive, because you need to prove that you can do things.
Yeah, and as you said in your presentation, it's not really about being the first one, it's basically about being the last one.
Yeah, the one that you can commit in launching on time, that's very important. You can commit in not failures or reducing the number of failures. So we will spend more time on ground as we have been doing till now. The company has 12 years old, and all this time we have been working longer than the other, maybe because we do not use other providers to do things internally. But now we see the reactivity of the team is impressive. In the way we produce now, like the last version of Mira 1, it took like 2 months to make. The launch base in Hermosillo was like 3 months. Yeah. All that because we knew how to do, we proved that in our test facility, and we have the team that, the learning curve is impressive.
Okay. Let's talk about 2 more things, if that's okay. Yeah. First of all, the comparison that people will make between PLD Space and SpaceX. You worked for SpaceX yourself, you know SpaceX like no other in PLD. What is the comparison? Is PLD Space the European SpaceX that we're all hoping for?
I think we are different, and I hope because we do things in different way. I will not say better or worse because I will never talk bad about the company I worked before, and I really love the way they are doing. I think they are inspiring a lot, but I think we do in a way more dynamic because we are less people at this moment, but we may be a little bit like them in a given moment. I think we will do with the experience, maybe we get from them also. And my feeling is we are dreaming things the same way. We have hope, expectation, maybe more humble, my feeling, but that's nothing.
You're European, but you're also Spanish.
Yeah, you can tell. Compared to Estonians, don't tell them, we are very, they hurt us. But we are passionate, and I think it's part of the...
Now, in good, a little bit of an intermezzo, but you mentioned it in your talk. In good space industry tradition, you're looking for people, you can't pay them, you're going to make them work really hard.
Yeah.
They're going to live close to the beach, but they won't have time to go to the beach. Yeah. Why should people join PLD Space? You need dozens of people now, I suppose.
I think that's the filter. The human resource, and maybe some of my other managers heard this, that I say that, but it's true. I think we have to show passion. But I think for any job, it's not that because I work in PLD or we do rockets. I think education, journalists, you need this passion, and I think it's a good filter just to say in the interview, man, you're going to work 24 hours, you are going to be by the beach, you will never see the beach.
Yeah, and you're going to get horrible pay.
Yeah, pay very bad, That's the publicity. And I think people, I will not say name, maybe myself, did that, and maybe I'm more happy. And that's what we look at. I think passion is not a question of money. Passion is a question of...
Well, you can be part of a pioneering team that is going to put Europe on the small launcher map for good. So that's a sales argument. And once Mira 5 launches 32 times per year, people can go back to HR to renegotiate their contract.
Yeah, it's when I will buy my Mira.
Yeah, exactly.
The Lamborghini.
You talked about the Lamborghini, so with the same name.
That's my goal.
Yeah, there must be a reason for that.
But I will be very old maybe, but because I will invest, I don't invest in real estate, I invest in solar energy, in rockets, and I think it's good for the education of the kids also, and I'm more proud of that.
Yeah, and I mean, PLD Space is now a role model. Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about that, because PLD Space is not the only company in Europe developing small launchers. There are quite a few organizations in Germany, in the UK, in France that are developing, and in other countries, that are developing small launchers and that are all fishing in the same pond. Is there a market for what is it, 8 or 9 or 10 or even more small launches?
To be honest, I follow the numbers. Sometimes, I think we heard the most important one are in Germany, no? And in UK, maybe in France also there is a lot of. Well, I'm happy, what is happening. It looked like there is a market, that we did the homework properly, that I was not there 12 years ago, but the two Raúles, Raúl Verdúa and Torres, they say, I want a rocket, and the market was there.
Yeah.
Not so clear than now, but it's there. And there are companies trying to do the same thing, so there is a market. We really feel like we are the most advanced, and we're going to follow the plan. I
But
think.
can they all launch 32 times per year, assuming they carry the same sort of payloads?
I think.
Because when you talk about 10
it's
times
gonna-
32, 320 launches,
It's,
just doing some basic maths here, but
Yeah.
just to get an idea, is the market that big, and
I-
will it remain
I
that
hope,
big?
I hope it's like that, but I think it's going to be very competitive.
Yes.
So even if there is this market, it will consolidate in a given moment. Some companies maybe they will consolidate or they will join together. My feeling,
Is PLD Space open for consolidation, or is it too
I
early?
think consolidation maybe is just getting the people. I am more, not the name, is we need people to do a project. It's going to be maybe more symbol of Europe, but yeah, people. I hate to say they will fail or not. Good thing is we are giving jobs. We need more engineers that like to do this, and not only
You
engineers.
hear it?
Not only engineers, also technicians, also experts in whatever, and also people with passion that can adapt a lot. I think we hire sometimes people, and I say that because we see then that they like it, that they are ready, and we test, and sometimes we say, these guys learn more than me in 20 years, no? Because they are really fast.
And I guess that's an argument as well. I mean, as I said before, you join a pioneering company,
Yeah.
you can learn new stuff. You can learn, you can fail, you can learn through failure, and be part of this new era of European launches, and that's pretty cool.
Now we are so lucky. I think, well, myself, I've been changing companies, always related to rockets and satellite. I say, wow, all of them, they succeed. Maybe I was lucky, and I think things are happening. And I think Europe is, it's in a difficult moment, as we mentioned on the launch vehicle, but also it's in a good moment to shake ourselves to do things in other way. It doesn't mean that we are the only one that will survive or will have the reason, but at least there is this open thing, even in investors, because we have to convince them.
Sure. Well, talking about investors and about investment, Mira 5 is also not the last stage in development. You already mentioned Mira Next. What can you say about that?
Well, I was pushed to say something about that, and we will make some announcement. I think maybe in Bremen,
Okay.
but yes, we have always an extra goal. Mira 1, I will not say it's over. We may launch. There are discussions now, but the Mira 5 is for sure today.
Of course, Mira 5 is going to be your commercial workhorse
But
for the immediate term.
Then it will be in Mira Next with very high expectation as always, because for us, Mira 1 to Mira 5 is big change. So the next one is going to be another big change.
Well, we all think about Falcon 1 to Falcon 9 to the next big thing that is now being prepared. So I'm really happy to see those parallels, at least in the vision of PLD Space.
The vision is always there. I think in a given moment we plan to fly humans, and I think we mentioned that in.
You said that in the presentation, you hear it here, a human
I
rated.
heard by my colleagues, I'm not the only one saying that. It's a possibility, and there is nothing written.
Again, Europe has never had a human rated
Yeah.
launcher.
It's a dream, maybe, but it was a dream 3 weeks ago, and we did the first
Yes.
launch in
Well,
Europe.
let's end where we started with the successful launch on the 7th of October, just a few weeks ago, of Mira 1. So congratulations
Oh,
again
thank you.
on that enormous milestone for the company, but in my opinion, for the European space industry.
Yeah.
It gives us hope that Europe is continuing to claim its place in space, and I'm really happy and proud to see a Spanish company
and I'm
leading
very
the way.
happy to saw that the team. I'm the lucky maybe one that travel more or not, because sometimes it's too much. But the whole team, you feel like very proud in the houses, in the little town. Some of them are in interviews. Everybody live that as something personal.
It's a team effort, and now is the opportunity to join Team PLD Space.
Yeah,
because you have
please.
many openings. This milestone was not just a technical milestone, it was also a step in the further expansion of PLD Space as the leading small launcher company in Europe.
I think we have 100 positions open at this
100
moment,
positions open, that's amazing.
and more. And
I'm assuming they're on the PLD Space website where people can find them.
Yes.
They can apply and then talk to you and your colleagues about what those positions are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Pablo,
to
for,
you and the team.
for this extended fireside chat here at the Software Defined Space Conference in Estonia, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you again very soon about the
Yeah.
next big milestone.
Hopefully we commit what we say always, and I really appreciate the way you make the interview, and also the way you push us to do things in this way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, amigo.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Too much.
That was really good.